Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another MultiVersus video. Today, I'm going to be ranking the wall animations from worst to best. Now, just like parry animations, most of the wall animations in this game are very generic and not very interesting. To save us a lot of time, I'm only going to be ranking the ones that stand out and do something interesting. I'm afraid our newest fighter, Nubia, has a very generic animation as well. So I will give her special mention here just because she's our newest fighter, and unfortunately, she does not make the list. With all that in mind, let's get straight into it. The Powerpuff Girls only just escape from mediocrity through the really nice detail of the wall animation changing based on who the leader is. I also really like the detail that all three Powerpuff Girls are looking in different directions, quite literally covering all ground. It's a nice little detail for an otherwise very generic wall animation. Banana Guard is also just barely worth mentioning, but him using his spear to stab it into the wall is a nice visual touch that just makes him interesting enough to mention. Taz isn't doing a whole lot special here, but the visual touch of him cluelessly looking around is comedic enough to allow him to be on the list. Steven Universe literally hugging the wall is just adorable. It's nothing special, but it's a visual treat. I like this one. Joker happily showboating while potentially sliding to his demise is just so comedically satisfying. It's really simple, but it works very, very well. Harley pretty much does the exact same thing as Joker. I've ranked her higher though because at least Harley was in the game first, so this was technically hers before it was ever Joker's. I would have liked to have seen something more unique for Joker, but this does work for both of these characters. While other characters are looking all around to get a good sense of their surroundings, Beetle Juice stares straight down into the abyss of death. It's just really interesting, and I think it really works for his character. I really like this one. Now, I will stipulate that I only find this one interesting when Tom has Jerry. I just love the image of Jerry casually sitting atop of Tom's head while Tom is scratching and clawing at the walls trying to stay up. There is just something so fun about this. I absolutely love it. While I could definitely understand if people think I've been a bit too generous with this one, I just love Morty's facial expression here. The absolute terror he has and the juxtaposition he creates with Rick once again just always works for me. I know I've got a huge bias towards Rick and Morty, but yet again, they really have absolutely nailed it with these two. I want to point out that I believe that these final three are just a huge step above the rest. Like, the high quality of these three wall animations makes me so upset that so few characters even have an interesting wall animation to begin with, let alone a wall animation as interesting as what these three are able to do. Starting off with Rick's, this is a fantastic reference to the opening episode of Rick and Morty where they use the wall boots to be able to walk along surfaces. Whilst you could be nitpicky and say, well, technically they shouldn't be sliding down the wall then, I think this is a really clever and really fun reference that I think you can just let the nitpicking go for this one and just be happy that they've even done something interesting here. Marvin's is such a comedic treat. I love this one. This image of Marvin just trying to stick the flag into the ground to declare Earth as Martian property, but instead of just sticking it into the ground, he's shoving it into the side of a wall. He's making do with whatever he can, and he is just slowly sliding down, realizing that the flag is just not sturdy enough to keep him up. I love it so much. It's so funny. There is something so obviously this is LeBron's wall animation, but yet you can't help but just think that is so creative. LeBron hanging off the rim of the basketball hoop as his wall animation is just so damn clever. It's not super comedically interesting like Marvin's is, and it's not a great reference like Rick's, but there's something just so simplistic, but just so visually interesting about this one. It really is the one that you'll look at and go, wow, that is really, really cool. And with that, we've come to the end of all the wall animations that I believe are worth talking about. I think while the game does have some amazing wall animations as we've seen, particularly Rick, Marvin's, and LeBron's, it really does just make it stand out as disappointing that so many characters are just left with something uninteresting. I'm sure some people are going to say, oh, I actually really liked this character's one, the one that you didn't mention, or perhaps there's a reference I've missed here. So, as always, I want to hear your opinion. What are your favorites? What are your least favorites? What wall animations do you wish they had instead of the generic ones that they were given? Give me your ideas, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions, and as always, thank you very, very much for watching, and I hope you will have a very, very good one. Take care.